call it the White Tiger. It's Nioh.
Nioh.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Salutations, Jeff.
This is David.
Hi, David.
Hi, Jeff.
We're playing Nioh.
We are. A good game. A fun game.
This is a good game. It's a good, fun game. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
This boss is okay. He's not too hard. He's actually very easy. Not the easiest, you know.
Well, I mean,
still enjoyable to fight, but relatively speaking, I don't know. I didn't. Maybe I just didn't have a lot of trouble with him. But you know, that can sometimes happen.
right.
Sometimes some bosses click, and others don't. We're gonna be poking him to death with a spear.
Good.
Because, you know, why not? You gotta change it up. This little Byakko, white tiger,
Yeah.
tiger kitty.
Except Byakko doesn't traditionally have bird wings.
So there's actually not that many attacks we need to even pay attention to. Really just the two main ones. The one where he charges forward. There's a pretty fairly obvious sort of like tell. Yeah, that. Eyeball is the weakness, as you might guess.
Right. The giant glowy weak point.
The only other thing we really need to learn how to dodge is just the swipe. And it's an easy just left or right dodge.
And low stance?
Yeah, or actually kind of any stance.
Oh, okay. It's not just low.
Not just low stance. There's some ranged attacks, which I was able to get on the recording, which is nice.
Wow.
Spread shot.
We didn't see any of those when we were...
Yeah, it dies real fast with cooperative situations, yeah.
And by real fast, he means literally 12 seconds.
Eye laser. I suppose you really want to know how to dodge the eye laser. But dodging the eye laser is just recognizing that it's happening and then immediately getting up close. Because it's just free combo hits.
Especially since it comes from his eye. So
yeah, exactly.
Get next to him.
There's a directional one. There's also a sort of freak out sweeping one, which we'll see later. There's the paw swipe. The main thing to learn how to dodge, or I wouldn't say block, just because it can combo. Plus, you know, dodging to the side will get you in better position. There's the sweep. Dodge into it, I suppose. That's what I prefer doing, but I mean, you can also just kind of stand near the back. And if you hit the eye, it is a weak point, it'll stagger him. Hit the eye with anything, it'll stagger him. So it's kind of like an instant stagger.
Oh, really?
I think that's how it works.
Huh.
Don't quote me on that. It has been a while since I recorded this.
Right.
But I'm fairly sure that any kind of eye hit will do it. Here's some other attacks that I didn't actually get on the main recording. The 360 spin, which is a close attack when you're not directly in front of him, or just you're to the side of him sometimes too. Dodge or just step. That's probably easier to just step back a little bit.
Whoops.
And then another backwards attack is the tail grab. That one, you can kind of see that one coming because the tails kind of flutter around a little bit, and there's a little bit of Yokai Realm spam right before it happens.
Oh, okay.
That usually kills co-op people. If you're like co-oping and people are like, oh, I'm going to stand behind and do damage. Yeah, that's what usually kills them. Hey, did you know that the fire spreader turns into mines?
In phase 2? No.
Yeah.
I didn't. 12 seconds. We killed him in 12 seconds.
Yeah, it didn't take very long. I also didn't get I mentioned it in the subtitles, but the charge forward attack can be chained together without a delay in between like seconds. So you want to at least wait a little bit before committing to an attack. Other than that, that's it. Like you can tell from the health bar, he's dead. Now,
did you use low stance in this one just because you felt like it, or?
Yeah, I want to give it a shot. The low stance dodge doesn't go as far, but it has more invincibility frames. Or at least that's what the internet tells me. It also looks neat.
It does look really neat. You look really cool. Just like nope.
Just pirouetting to victory. And I wanted to show some other, weapon types. I do like my dual swords, but I do like spears too.
Spears are a lot of fun.
I continue to use just Warrior of the West just to get some damage bonuses and stuff. But also no chest piece because it's more awesome and badass when you go in without chest armor.
Right.
But also, I get since I'm trying to do it without damage, it doesn't matter if I have armor. It's more important that I can, get the blue number there for dodge percentages.
Right. Right. So you just wear armor that gives you bonuses.
Yeah, and unless and stays within the I guess the A agility.
Right.
It's one for the maximum key regeneration and usage and what have ye. That is it for the White Tiger. White Tiger's not that hard.
No.
The mission itself is boring.
The mission itself.
Dreary.
The mission itself is boring if you keep forgetting that under some things you have to destroy, there's a pit. And
this is true.
You might fall into the pit and then have to run through a network of underground tunnels and do that 6 times.
There's another mountainous level. There's a few mountainous levels. Another one that I can think of.
It's almost like there are mountains in Japan.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. There's some other sort of foggy mountain levels that are actually probably a little bit more boring, but they're saved by having a little temple section where it changes it up and it doesn't. But this one is basically just constantly dreary raininess, and then there's a top level and a bottom level, so it's also pretty confusing to try and get all the stuff you want to go through. So there's a lot of backtracking.
Right.
There's an optional fight in there actually with a Nioh that's just kind of wandering around. If you kill it, you get a little achievement, a little trophy for destroying the non-boss Nioh.
Mm-hmm.
You fight it the exact same way, but it just doesn't.
Except
have
you're a little stronger now.
Yeah, its health bar is above its head instead of at the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what is next for Nioh.
Frog?
Is it Frog next? That might be the case.
I think it's Frog next.
Let me double check my boss guide list.
So while he's double checking that boss guide list, if you found this video helpful, or if you just enjoy what it is we do, feel free to go to Patreon, which is where you can pledge to give us so much money per month, and that just makes it a lot easier for us to do this. It makes it to where we can rely on it more full time. If a regular thing isn't something you're comfortable with, then feel free to shoot us a tip on PayPal. And if neither of those are things you can do, just tell people about us.
Yep. It is in fact Giant Toad, pronounced Giant Toad, according to the bestiary.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Yes.
Which is hilarious because I think that for White Tiger, it's White Tiger pronounced Byaku.
Really?
It's okay, I think I have to look. It's been a while since I've read the bestiary, but I thought that it actually just tells you it's Byaku in the description for the enemy.
Really?
So I was like, oh yeah, that's Byaku. Of course, it's
so wait, do we fight the other 3 celestial deities?
No.
Oh.
Genbu and Suzaku are guardian spirits. So they're in there, but
okay.
They fight for you.
And Byaku technically was a guardian spirit too. So
yes, that's true. Let's see. The other one was Seiryu or Shinryu. I might be thinking about
I think it's Seiryu.
I don't know if that one's in yet. Maybe it was in the DLC, or maybe it's in an upcoming DLC if it hasn't been in already. Because that would make sense. I'm sure there is some famous Japanese historical warrior out there that has a dragon for a guardian spirit. I imagine that's probably something that will or has happened.
Right. Let's see. I tried to look up the celestial animals and it gave me, you can buy this 300 DPI 12 megapixel image, or 12 megabit image of them, of all 4 of them. Looks like the cheapest tattoo.
The cheapest of tattoos.
Yes.
Printing out a piece of paper and then just pasting it on you. The cheapest of tattoos.
Yeah. Just get a little bit wet and rub it on, and you're fine.
I'm no tattoo artist, but that's probably how it works.
I mean, if there's any kind of ink transference and it's semi-permanent, I think that's fine. Yeah, Seiryu.
Okay. Okay, hooray, I remembered the name of the four celestial beasts.
Yeah, I know the name of the four celestial beasts from Final Fantasy Legend.
Final Fantasy Legend.
So
like Saga?
Yeah, well,
the Game Boy ones?
Well, no, because there were two sets of the Game Boy ones. There's Final Fantasy Adventure, which was Saga.
No, that's Seiken Densetsu.
Right, so Final Fantasy Legend is Saga, yes.
Okay, Saga. Okay. Never played any of the Legend games.
The first two are really good.
Okay.
And the third one is also good, it's just the translation is Ted Woolsey joint, so pretty sure it's Ted Woolsey. So, or Woosley?
Woolsey, I think.
Woolsey. So, if you like his translations, you'll love it. If you don't like his translations, it's distracting. So.
Okay. Too many spoony bards for you.
Spelling errors.
Okay.
And some grammatical things. Because they're like, all right, here's...
Did he have like 3 weeks to do the entire game?
Yeah,
okay.
Well, because that's what they did to him. It's like, all right, you have a month. Here is, 6,000 pages of text.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just hit my face with the mic.
Considering that, he did a fine job.
No, he did fine. It's just, like, if that kind of stuff is distracting to you, it's gonna be distracting. But the first game is about climbing a tower to try to figure out what's... That was my cat falling off of something.
I assumed it was cat-related, yes.
So, the first one was about climbing a tower to figure out what's on top, essentially. The second one is collect these MacGuffins and become a god. And then the third one was just like, so there's time travel and the world's kind of screwed, so we've trained you children and we're sending you back in time to make this not terrible. All right. Bye, kids.
Time travel makes everything better.
Yes.
It makes a bad story good. It can make a good story great.
Are you thinking of Looper in this instance?
I mean, sure, that's an example of a story with time travel. Yeah.
I've never seen it, but...
It's pretty good. It's weird.
A lot of people have said that if it weren't for the time travel angle to it, it would have just been strange and not pleasant.
Yeah, it was fine. When I say it's weird is my go-to adjective to describe a whole plethora of different experiences.
Fair enough.
And in this case, what I mean by weird is that it's a fairly straightforward action movie that just has time travel as a plot MacGuffin. But the weird part is that it has like it changes setting and also adds in like some like psionic stuff. So like psychic ability that they get sprinkled in at the end. You're like,
what?
Okay.
Oh.
Like I said, weird.
So does it feel like a shift like the end of Condemned 2 where you're screaming a guy to death, or does it feel like a shift like in
I don't feel like that's that big of a shift.
Fair enough. Okay, fair. Indigo Prophecy? How about that change and shift?
Which shift in Indigo Prophecy specifically are you talking about?
The one where it goes from what is going on to...
The one where it turns
into
magic. An anime, the one where it turns into Matrix-tron, the one where it briefly dips into necrophilia. Which one of those was the one?
Say that last one. Wait, what?
Is a brief dip into necrophilia, just a little bit.
No, I was unaware of that one. I was never able to make it all the way through Indigo Prophecy.
Technically speaking, there is a sex scene in the game, but technically speaking, one of those characters is kind of undead at the time. So, I'm just saying, I feel like that's a technicality.
That... David Cage does some weird stuff.
Yeah, I don't like Indigo Prophecy a lot. Halfway, like the halfway point, and then forward. It was just nonsense.
Did you ever play Heavy Rain?
Nope. Didn't care to. I don't care to play any of his games after Indigo Prophecy, so maybe I'll watch.
I will say, yeah, watch a Let's Play of Heavy Rain. Do not play it. There's actually a pretty comprehensive one on BD.Baldirk, if it's still up. I assume it is.
Around. It's probably somewhere on the internet. If not directly there.
But yeah, he does a pretty good job with it. But it seems that the more creative freedom David Cage is given, it becomes like
the more it becomes.
Right. The puzzle in Heavy Rain is actually pretty good. Like, all told, like he does a decent job of making you think a whole bunch of different people are the origami killer. Also, do you want to hear like the 90 different ways you can say origami?
Ragme.
Almost.
It's the origami killer.
The origami killer. The origami killer.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, it's origami. Like, why are you saying origami? Like, no one else in this world is saying it that way. Wait, why are you saying it different? You're in the same city. You grew up together. Why are you saying this different?
So, watching SGDQ.
Oh, yep. So am I.
I finished the entire 8-hour Final Fantasy VII run.
Good.
It is great.
That is next on my list to start.
I learned so much about Final Fantasy VII, about the game, about the plot, about just... I feel enriched, since I didn't remember anything about Final Fantasy VII, aside from some highlights.
Right. Well, it's going back and looking at it, just like, wow, these characters are, aside from Barrett, are a lot different than I remember them being.
Yeah, you don't get so much since they're going through and skipping everything. They give you a good plot digest as they go along, but you don't get so much characterization.
Well,
so they're not explaining, like, unless it's directly plot relevant, like character motivations, like when you're going to like their hometowns, they'll mention it, but you don't get like a feeling of like the personality of the other people. I don't know, like Sid or something. It's just, he's just there. But whatever.
So yeah, that's something to look into, because how I remember those characters is very different.
There were some revelations,
such as
Final Fantasy VII spoilers, or the spoiler that is in Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
They said that, technically speaking, this was not Sephiroth that was directly doing that, but it was Jenova. It was a technicality. I was like, okay, go on. Because Jenova is the one that has the ability to shapeshift and to like fly around, and these are the things that Sephiroth, in quotes, does before you get to the crater, where you find Sephiroth's actual body.
Right.
So the Jenova that's being held in Shinra breaks out, and it's shown to be able to impersonate people and is going around as Sephiroth. So it's Sephiroth you interact with until you find the sort of like half-grown body of Sephiroth, which is supposedly the actual one that got vomited up in the live stream after being killed at Nibelheim or what have you.
Right.
Was 100% Jenova body, Jenova cells. Now, you could also make the argument that, well, at that point, so the argument goes, Jenova and Sephiroth are basically the same, because Sephiroth is basically the consciousness that's in control of the whole situation.
Right.
He just doesn't have, like, his physical body, but he's, like, using proxies. There's Jenova, sort of, like, weird Jenova bodies that he's using. Anyways, I thought that was interesting, so I was like, oh, okay.
I never considered that.
I don't remember any of this.
Really? Oh, man.
Ask me anything about Final Fantasy VII. I would have said, like, Eris, because it's a better translation. And then, the
also
weapons.
more phonetically pleasing.
It's more... Look, I'm going to tell you... I know I don't have to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this.
Okay.
I don't have to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. Who is the, let's say, the main character? Well, there's lots of characters. But let's say, who's the main character in Final Fantasy VI?
The main character?
Yeah, we'll say the main character. Yeah.
Celeste, probably.
Okay, no. Okay, I'm not. It's not a trick question.
Terra.
Yes. Okay. We'll say. Look, it's an ensemble cast for sure, but I would say that a lot of the plot definitely revolves around Terra and is the first character that you see. But not Tina.
What?
You don't say that the main character in Final Fantasy VI is Tina when you're talking about. So why would you say that the character in Final Fantasy VII is Aerith?
Wait. Was Tina the original translation for Terra?
Yeah, that's Japanese. What about Final Fantasy V? Who's the main character in that?
Butts.
It's, well, to be fair, Butts is a great name. Okay, but like they officially went with Bart's, right? Which is also
they went with Bart's when they actually translated it.
When they finally did.
Instead of running a Super Nintendo emulator on a PlayStation.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Final Fantasy V, maybe not the best example. But still.
Carl Boss. There was a character named Carl Space Boss instead of Carol Bose.
Okay, fun times. So, Final Fantasy V, not the best example. We'll stick with 6 and 7. So you don't use the... People don't refer... When you're talking about the American translation and the American version of the game, you don't reference the Japanese name. The reason that they went with Tina, I guess, was because, I don't know, there's probably some more in-depth stuff, but it sounded exotic. But Tina is a very normal name. So Terra is a much better name because it's elemental. So there's like more meaning. Yeah, it's still a normal name. So there's people named Terra, in American society. That's not unusual. But to have someone named Terra, because it also means Earth and connection with magic and elements and all this stuff, it's a better name. So it's like, oh, this is the character story. You don't have weird people on the internet going like, oh, finally I was able to hear the symphonic version of Tina's theme. Like, no.
I mean, those people exist.
Because they, I'm sure they exist, but these people who almost universally speak and write and understand English and little to no Japanese. Not that that's a particular qualifier for the argument right now. Is that Eris makes more sense for English because Erith is how you would say Eris if you had a lisp.
Yeah.
So the if is a very strange sound. It does not happen.
Right. Unless ith is not common. Eth is like Gareth or stuff like that. So if her name was Aerith instead of Aerith. I can see that. I make a weird face when I say that. It's
or
just
maybe
Aerith.
even just ending at the T. Aerith.
Arit.
Those don't work as well because it doesn't have like the traditional female sounding sounds, which usually just go to like A sounds just because of like Latin and other gendered languages usually have like A and stuff. And some other I don't know. There's probably like a whole sociological history of that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, well, and when you're talking about localization versus translation, because those are two very different things. Because or paraphrase or whatever. Like an example that I deal with on a daily basis: the Bible. There are so many different translations of that guy, or its book, I guess. Weird to assign a gender to a book. Granted, I don't assign gender to my guitars either. Anyway, so
I think that people understood what you meant, but also might have thought that from that guy could just reference the general divinity of it.
Yeah, I figured I
guess clarification is okay.
The document that is the Bible. Like, there are dozens and dozens of translations of it, and the translations are constantly being revised. And then there are literal translations and paraphrase translations, and I paraphrase close to or localized. Like, there is a translation that's kind of, if you're the kind of nerd that really likes Bible translations, like, there is a translation that is the like the beginner's first preschool Bible translation called The Message, where it's like ridiculously paraphrased. But it can
The Message. We don't have to. You don't have to read them. There's so many different translations. Just find one that's good. Just don't read them. It's just fine.
So that's the message.
But yes, the idea is that there are different effects. So there's translations that try and mimic the structure of like the original Hebrew and Greek, and then it sounds really awkward and strange.
Right, and then they try to make it sound more English, more American,
more
or more
conversational
European.
or idiomatic, so it's easier to read, and you get by having certain phrase patterns and like word choices, it's easier to read and comprehend in a faster level. So.
But at the same time, because Hebrew and Greek are languages that are very, very robust and specific languages, and English is not a specific language, depending on how the translation goes, like, it conveys different information. So when you're doing that translation, you're having to very specifically, like, think about what is the most important bit in this sentence. Is it the 19 ellipses that this anime character just said? No, it's it's what they're trying to convey through the 19 ellipses, so I'm going to write that down. Instead of like a literal translation.
When we translate that ellipses into something that a voice actor would do, we don't, in American culture, we can just have silence. An ellipsis does not have to be rendered as. Okay, just saying. If you're doing that, you can just let the silence have lease. Just let it be. Don't have to translate all the tiny grunts. I digress.
I mean, it's almost like you've played a Persona game.
Or watched any anime, or played any other. I feel like I have watched and played a number of animes. Yeah, I'm playing one right now. Tales of Berseria is really good. Yes. I'm at the end game where I'm like, all right, I think I've done all the side quests that I'm gonna do. Now I just kind of have to just like commit, go through all the end bosses, do the thing.
So you're way further than you got in Vesperia.
Yes. It also seems to be shorter than Vesperia, which I'm very thankful for, because I was like 70 hours deep and there's no sign of surfacing. This one I'm only like 60 hours deep, and it seems like it's the end. So
well, maybe the end is 14 hours.
Maybe it is,
or maybe it
not.
pulls a Persona 4 and there's a bonus dungeon when you think everything's over.
I know there's bonus dungeons and stuff, of course, but
right.
Unless there's just some BS going on with the storyline, all of the actors and the story has come to its logical conclusion. So there just needs to be a final fight, and then you can get on with it. So you can only do so many fake endings or reversals or like plot twists or like, oh, what we thought was happening wasn't happening at all.
Oh no, the villain is actually the good guy, and the good guy is actually Hitler, and Hitler is actually Stalin, and Stalin is actually just a cow.
I will say that the villain is very, very good in this game, because unlike all villains in all video games and movies and television shows, well, not all of them, there's some good TV, but he has like depth and emotion and a backstory that is connected to the main character, and there's an animosity there, but it's all understandable, and it's all derived from fairly believable, horrible situations and choices that had to be made. I was like, all right, I'm good with this. I enjoy this villain a lot. It's good times.
Okay.
And that's why White Tiger from Nioh. The end. It's about to cross over to 30 minutes. I'm gonna stop before it happens.
All right, stop recording. Stop the recording.